Hey, everybody, it's Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset. I'm doing my Food for Your Soul vlog. So here's the next one. This one here penetrated pretty hard during a time in our life where we witnessed the untimely demise of an icon, a legend, a philanthropist, an activist, a go-getter, entrepreneur in our village and our homes and in our lives. So this was this generation's situation. So I didn't say anything for a while, and then all of a sudden God just spoke to my heart about Nipsey Hussle's passing and how we can take an introspective look at what he's done and apply it to our lives, just like everybody else is doing. So here you go. The heart is connected to the character of a person. Leaders move in silence and serve others, but some people would rather remain stuck, creeping around corners, suffering in the silence of their contentment and corruption in their heart. Sad, but that's the character they choose not to lose, causing others to suffer great loss. Of course, when I did it, I knew people would pretty much know where it was coming from, because in the caption I mentioned something about your victory lap and the marathon, and I referenced Nipsey Hussle's music in a collective remembrance of all the things that he's done and how he's impacted the world, whether you know him personally or not. It's a great thing to honor people while they're living, but it's also a great thing that their legacy is always honorable and rememberable. So you can always take strides in the things that you look up to and the things and the people that have greatly impacted you from afar and say, wow, how can I be better? And that's what we strive to do. Most of us strive to do that every day. But to hear the legacy and the impact of this tragedy is resounding. It penetrates parts of your heart and your soul and your spirit where you can't think as normal since March 31st. You can't do business as usual. You have to reevaluate and reassess where you're at ongoing, but in particularly when you're striving to do the unthinkable, unmentionable, be purposeful, when you've accepted and submitted yourselves to what it is, your call, your gift. And no matter how many interviews you've seen Nipsey Hussle do, no matter how many songs of his you've listened to, features or whatever, you know that at some point he had to surrender himself to what his causes were, what he was called to do, what he was sent to this earth to do. And it's important that we all think about that. I reference this quote as a reflection and mindfulness quote because it tunes you up when something so tragic or the ills in the societies are just so overwhelming that we have to take a look and just say, all right, enough of this. How can I, God, why am I here? And how do you want me to reposition myself? How can I be more accommodating to my needs as well as serving the needs of others? What is it that you brought me here to do? And what indentation do you want me to leave on this world? What footprint in society, and what genre, what area? Where do you want me? And it's a plea for help. It's a plea to understand. It's a plea of explanation of life. And that's what this whole quote was about. Not just the fact that leadership is so important and being called to leadership and to teach others is important, but also the people that haven't dealt with the unresolved issues of their heart. The matters of the heart, contentment, resentment, bitterness, hatred, envy, jealousy, the list can go on. Those issues are so stuck in a person, where when you're trying to rise and a person is feeling sunshine and happy thoughts and pureness and truth, despite what bad decisions we made of our past, despite what mistakes we've made, what errors we've made, when you see that same person pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, marching as a soldier, marching as a warrior in this world, helping others without boasting and bragging and not doing it just for clout. When you see somebody like that, what we have to remember is the very same people standing next to you that still have unresolved issues in their heart are sabotaging you, or waiting for the day to be able to set you up, waiting for the day to see your demise. Personally, stand right there and see your demise. See things dwindling, life dwindling from your body. And those people have no remorse because it was selfish the purpose in your life. It was selfish while they were standing in the wings and talking this stuff on your name and doubting your projects and doubting you and telling anybody that would listen to it, and or cowering in a corner, running from behind an alley, doing something all crazy. They don't understand the loss of what the actions of what they've done is. They don't understand that it's greater than them, because everything is got to be about them. That contentment rises up. That hardened heart is just so broken in so many areas, and there's so many bitter seeds of attachment to that thing, where they just think like, I don't even care. Fortunately, you may not know who it is right now, but I always tell people, my children included, my closest friends, watch your snakes in the grass. Cut your grass. Cut your losses. Cut people that you got to keep questioning over the years. Watch the snakes in the grass. You know, you got to cut it off at the head, and you got to mean it. You know what I mean? Because they reproduce other seeds. It's other things attached to them that will follow you as you rise, that they just can't and don't choose to pick up the pieces and, you know, cut their own head off of their own issues. They don't choose to. They're rooted in that. And so that will keep you in a cycle of quicksand where you can't figure out why. But I guarantee you, it's a person that's lurking somewhere in the wings that when you're drowning in quicksand, they always look like they're coming to save your day. But really, they're finding out your triggers and your push buttons so they can know what they can do. Because when that setup opportunity presents itself, which it will, because they're operating in darkness. So that setup opportunity will come to that person that's bitter, that's hateful, that has contentment on their heart. And they will react and jump on the chance, watch you die a slow death. They'll plot things against you to watch you die prematurely, ahead of your goals, ahead of your dreams, ahead of what you were sent to do. But at the end of the day, you got to trust that every second, every minute, every hour, that you have to make an intentional and deliberate act of kindness, a deliberate and intentional purpose to get up every day, to answer the call of duty, to be righteous, to be fair, to be truthful, to be honest, and to be a pleasant person as much as possible. Because guess what? The reciprocity of that energy is a surge in you. It's that you can expect, even when people don't say hi back, or they're ignorant, or when they do their thing, you have overflow to other people in so much graciousness and kindness that even the dark days when people ignorant and throwing darts, it won't even faze you. You could just keep it moving, because it's going to come back to you. The reciprocity of the energy that you've put out is going to come back to you, and you're going to have a full portion, full measure, and full serving of it. So don't never trip off of that. You can yield to the people that you feel sorry for. You can yield to the people and be like, I can see it on you, but dude, you don't understand the shift that has to take place for you to come with me. The shift that has to take place for you to be able to hear what it is that God is using me to tell you. You got to, just like we all have to yield and shift when correction comes, when revelation is exposed. You have to be willing to surrender and submit yourself to that. So it's people that's not. It's so much darkness in this world that people just feel cool with that. They be cool with devising and strategizing an attack behind the scenes for years. Like, they good with that. Waiting on an opportunity. Oh, she wrote a book. I'm going to talk bad about her from 8th grade. Like, all right, okay, good luck with that. Because, because all I say is, the same people that's doing stuff to devise an attack towards you probably don't have many people that's doing what you do around them. It doesn't mean anything to them. They can't even cultivate in their mind what that feels like to be an author, to be a DJ, to be a writer, to be a tattoo artist, to be a movie maker, producer, director. They can't even cultivate going to school, getting degrees, taking care of kids. I mean, they can't even understand the depths of the selflessness of you. So those people you will never convince. They have to pop out of that. Something has to bring them out. And if it hasn't been you and your spirit bringing them out, it's probably because they're rejecting it, because they're dejected from the thought of rising above comfortability of spitefulness, the comfortability of being wicked in their ways and their thoughts. They've succumbed to, that makes me powerful. That makes me smart. I was clever enough to get away with it. Oh, he or she ain't that smart. He or she ain't that good of a person. Look what happened. They got killed anyway. They got in jail anyway. Their child died anyway. They lost their job anyway. These type of people exist. And unfortunately, we still continue to have to rise. We have to guard our space. And as leaders, we have to know that we're infectious everywhere we go. And your angels of protection, your warriors of protection will be around you at every given time. And you just have to keep pressing towards the mark boldly with faith, with truth. As Nipsey has gone to rest in heaven, he has gone home with nothing but the story of truth and power behind his name. What a great way. You feel me? That is the attributes of Christ. Those are the attributes of a king or a queen. Those are the attributes of a selfless servant leader. That's what I'm talking about. And there's so many of us out here. And it doesn't have to end tragically. But just know that Satan has to send somebody to do his job. So understand, keep your grass cut. Watch the snakes in the grass. Cut it off at the head. Until then, God's peace to you. God's love to you. Ava Cherie.